Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever been invisible to the people who should see you most clearly? That's where our story starts, with a woman named Claire, her 8-year-old daughter Maya, and a Ford Escape that had become their universe. Wherever you're listening right now, folding laundry, commuting, winding down for the night, settle in, because this isn't just about discovering hidden wealth. It's about learning that the greatest inheritances can't be measured in dollars. Claire Morrison woke to a familiar ache of sleeping upright for the 183rd consecutive night. The Ford's windows were clouded with condensation. Another February morning, in the parking lot behind a 24-hour gym, she checked the rearview mirror. Maya was curled beneath 2 thrift store blankets, her math homework tucked beside her pillow. Maya's notebook lay open. Day 183. Mom pretends her back doesn't hurt. A girl asked why I shower at school. I said, I'm on the swim team. Mom says honesty matters, but sometimes kindness matters more. 8 years old, already learning to compress herself into whatever space her mother could provide. The phone rang. Unknown number. 6:47 a.m. Claire Morrison? This is Gerald Chun from Chun and Associates. I'm calling about your Aunt Patricia Monroe. She passed away last Thursday. The memorial service was Saturday. There's an estate reading scheduled for Wednesday at 11 a.m. After he hung up, Claire pressed her palms against her eyes. Patricia had been the only family member who'd sent birthday cards after the divorce. The only one who hadn't judged when Claire admitted they were living in the car. Maya stirred. Was that about Aunt Tricia? The service was 3 days ago. Nobody told us. There's an estate meeting Wednesday. Hope flickered across Maya's face. Maybe enough for a security deposit, first month's rent. But Claire had stopped trusting Hope 5 months ago. Wednesday morning, Claire deposited her paycheck. $1,847 after taxes. By noon, $380 to storage unit, $295 to car insurance, $180 to minimum payments. That left $992 for 2 weeks. The law firm occupied the 20th floor of a glass tower. Claire and Maya rode the elevator in Target clearance clothes. Gerald Chin was already waiting in conference room C. Ms. Morrison, please have a seat. We're expecting your cousin shortly. Blake arrived at 11:12, Bluetooth earpiece active, designer suit, smartwatch glowing. He'd changed after his divorce 2 years ago, learned that only money provided security. Vanessa swept in at 11:18, luxury SUV keys dangling, designer handbag, jewelry that cost more than Claire earned in 6 months. Her gaze passed over Claire and Maya in half a second. Dismissed, Chin began reading. Patricia Monroe, being of sound mind. To my nephew, Blake Morrison, I leave the condominium at 1840 Riverside Boulevard, valued at $1.2 million. To my niece, Vanessa Chin Morrison, I leave my art collection, appraised at $780,000, an investment portfolio of $215,000. He paused. To my niece, Claire Morrison, I leave $10 in cash in the original homestead property at Ravens Peak, Wyoming. Silence shattered by Blake's laughter. $10? I spend that on lunch. Vanessa's smile was surgical, perhaps proportional to life achievements. Blake runs a tech company. I'm a senior executive. You paint murals in community centers for $34,000 a year. Each word landed like a fist. 6 months in the car had taught Claire to absorb blows without flinching. Maya's small hand found hers. We're okay, Mom. The mountain cabin, Blake said, hasn't been occupied in 50 years. Probably collapsed. Chin cleared his throat. Ms. Monroe left explicit instructions. She requested Claire visit the property personally. Property taxes are current. No liens. The 60 acres are entirely yours. Vanessa gathered her papers. When you're ready to sell, call us. We'll help. Family discount. At the door, Blake turned back. Let me know. Maybe enough for an apartment. Get Maya a real bedroom. Then they vanished. What Claire finds in that envelope, and what her great-great-grandmother buried 160 years ago, will change everything. Stay with us. Chin handed Claire a manila envelope. Your aunt spoke highly of you. She said, Claire will understand when she's ready. She wasn't confused or unkind. If she left you this property, she had reasons. After he left, Maya opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a small box. Mom, look. Aunt Tricia's turquoise ring. Simple, beautiful. Inside the band, for keeping faith. 1975. Beneath it, a letter. 4 pages in Patricia's handwriting. My dearest Claire, they laughed and that's how I know I chose correctly. The mountain property isn't what it appears. Your great-great-grandmother, Elena Ravenwood, built that homestead in 1863. Half Mexican, half Shoshone, rejected by both communities. She survived. She found something precious. But she made a promise instead. I protected that promise for 48 years. I'm passing it to you. You've been tested, homeless, divorced, struggling. But you still create beauty for children who have nothing. That's the person this promise needs. Go to the cabin. Southwest corner. Beneath the hearthstone, iron lockbox, combination 1-8-6-3. What's inside will change your circumstances. But how you use will define who you become. This isn't just about wealth. This is a 160-year covenant. Trust yourself. With all my love, Aunt Tricia. P.S. The compass. Elena's inscription. True north never changes. 1863. The compass still worked after 161 years. Claire held it steady and let herself imagine tomorrow could be different. Has someone ever believed in you when you'd stopped believing in yourself? That person who saw something you'd forgotten was there? That's what Patricia gave Claire. Not money, belief. Sometimes that's the most valuable gift. Stay with us. Because what Claire discovers under that cabin floor will test everything she thought she knew about family, loyalty, and the price of keeping promises. Friday afternoon, Claire bought supplies at a discount store. LED flashlights, climbing rope, first aid supplies, emergency blankets. $167.45. $1.31 over budget. They drove northwest for 4 hours. The heater worked sporadically. The maintenance light had been glowing for 2 months. She couldn't afford to learn what was wrong. They passed through Ravens Creek at sunset. Population 387. 1 Main Street. Miller's Trading Post, established 1963. The turnoff appeared. Ravens Peak Road, for by 4 recommended. Claire looked at her 2-wheel drive Ford. They'd come this far. The dirt road was punishing. Deep ruts, rocks scraping the undercarriage. 25 minutes of bone-jarring progress. Then the trees opened, and Claire stopped. The cabin stood 60 feet ahead, maybe 18 feet square. Logs weathered to silver, roof sagging, porch partially collapsed. Built directly against a cliff face. Limestone rising 100 feet. Evergreen forest surrounded the clearing. It looks like something from a fairy tale, Maya whispered. The good kind. Claire's phone buzzed. 1 bar of signal. Text from Blake. Legal filing Monday. Competency hearing. Get a lawyer. We'll sleep in the car tonight. Tomorrow we'll explore. Morning arrived cold and crystalline. They approached the cabin cautiously, testing each board before committing weight. Inside, 1 room, 18 by 18. Stone fireplace, broken furniture, metal cups, a sleeping alcove. Dust covered everything, except 1 corner where the dust was disturbed. A rectangular clean spot. Someone was here recently, Maya said. Claire examined the space. Carved into the hearthstone, Yar 1863. Elena Ravenwood. 5 generations of connection. Mom. Maya knelt by the fireplace. The stone moves. Claire worked it loose. Beneath, a metal box. Inside, 3 photographs and a note. First photo, a woman standing before this cabin. Dark eyes, high cheekbones, work-worn hands. On the back, Elena Ravenwood, 1863. Second photo, the same woman, older. Third photo, young Patricia at this cabin. Patricia Monroe, 1976. The note, in Elena's handwriting. For daughters of my blood. Look beneath where the fire burns coldest. The mountain keeps its promises. Southwest corner. Claire examined the hearthstone carefully. One stone sat differently. She pried it up. Beneath it, an iron lockbox. Combination lock. 1-8-6-3. The lock clicked open. What's inside that box, and the choice it forces Claire to make, will determine not just her future, but who she really is. Don't go anywhere. Inside the lockbox, a leather journal, a road map, and another envelope. The journal's first page, Journal of Elena Ravenwood, March 1863. March 22nd. Claimed this land, $1.50 per acre. The land office clerk didn't want to process it. A half-breed woman owning property. But law is law. April 15th. Built this cabin alone. Men came to watch and laugh. Let them. June 7th. Found the vein. Gold, or I'll tell no one. They'd kill me for it. July 30th. Met with Shoshone elder Running Bear. He showed me sacred caves where his people held ceremonies for centuries. I felt ashamed, holding my pickaxe. Running Bear asked me to make a promise. Protect what his people left behind. Return it when the time comes. I gave my word. The map showed tunnels branching underground. Gold vein, west. Water source, north. Sacred chamber, east. At the bottom, the covenant is in the sacred place. What's a covenant? Maya asked. A sacred promise. Elena promised to protect something precious. Aunt Tricia kept that promise. Now it's ours. Maya's eyes were serious beyond her years. Even if it means we don't get the gold, some promises matter more than wealth. Claire pulled out her phone. One bar. She searched. Ravens Creek geologist. One result. Dr. Helen Winters, retired geologist. Address on Aspen Street. At Miller's Trading Post. An older woman looked up from the register. Help you? I'm Patricia Monroe's niece. Did you know her? The woman straightened. I'm Ruth Miller. Knew Tricia for 40 years. She used to buy surveying equipment, rock hammers, mining lamps. You hear about the property? Yes. Looking for Dr. Winters. Helen? Third house on Aspen. Blue shutters. Tricia used to bring her samples. Dr. Helen Winters answered her door. Silver hair pulled back. Sharp eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. You must be Claire. Come in. Her living room was a geological museum. She pulled out a file labeled Monroe, confidential. Tricia brought me samples 12 years ago. She spread photographs across the table. Rock shot through with golden veins. Wire gold. Museum quality. Conservative estimate. $3 to $5 million worth. The room spun. If there's a producing vein, $15 to $22 million. Maybe more. Maya gasped softly. Why didn't Aunt Tricia mine it? She said it wasn't hers. Mentioned indigenous heritage. A promise made long ago. Helen met Claire's eyes. I'm 71. I'd like to see a genuine find before I die. Can I visit the site? Yes, but my cousins are contesting the will. I need help. Thomas Garcia handles mineral rights cases. I'll call him. They were loading Helen's truck when Blake's Tesla appeared, followed by Vanessa's Range Rover. Blake stepped out. GPS tracker on your car. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. A man in a suit emerged from Blake's passenger seat, camera in hand, photographing everything. Vanessa approached. So this is Patricia's dementia project. Claire, you're homeless with a child. We have documentation. We're prepared to petition for a custody review. The threat landed like ice water. Sign over the property. Take $75,000 cash, or we'll destroy you in court. Helen stepped forward. Dr. Helen Winters, consulting geologist. I'm analyzing the property. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. Any assessments before the hearing are premature. Scientific analysis is perfectly legal. Blake checked his watch. Lawsuit files Monday morning. Last chance, Claire. Claire looked at these people who'd turn away when she'd needed help. Get off my property. Their expensive vehicles departed in a cloud of dust. Helen touched Claire's shoulder. Find what's under that cabin. Now. Claire is about to discover something that will change everything. Not just about her inheritance, but about who she is and what she's willing to sacrifice. The truth is waiting in the darkness. Stay with us for the final part, because the choice Claire makes will define not just her life, but her daughter's future. The descent took forever. 42 rungs down into darkness. A tunnel carved from solid limestone, 8 feet high, 6 feet wide, timber supports at regular intervals. "This is a mine," Maya whispered. They moved deeper. The tunnel opened into a chamber. Tool marks covered the walls. Wooden crates stacked carefully against one wall. First crate. Chunks of quartz shot through with gold veins. "Is this real gold?" Maya breathed. Second crate. Mining tools. One pickaxe handle carved with ER. Third crate. A leather-bound journal. Journal of Elena Ravenwood. Continued. August 15th, 1863. "Running Bear has died. I've sealed everything behind stone. His people can reclaim it when they return. I've also hidden my best gold samples. If greedy men come, they'll find enough to satisfy them. But the real treasure, the sacred objects and finest gold, stays safe. May my daughters honor what I protected." Beneath, a note in Patricia's handwriting. "Claire, I came here 4 months before I died. Photographed everything for Joseph Stormcloud. The covenant is almost complete. Finish what I started. Patricia, October 2023. Helen examined the gold samples. These need proper assessment. But Claire, there's more to find. The map showed an eastern chamber. They followed the tunnel east. Temperature dropped. It opened into a natural cavern. Against a far wall, a stone barrier. Elena's work. They removed stones carefully. 3 feet of barrier. Behind it, a chamber 6 feet deep. Woven baskets and wooden boxes filled the space. Claire opened the first basket. Pottery fragments decorated with geometric designs. 300 years old, Helen whispered. Ceremonial pottery. Next, ceremonial objects wrapped in leather. Tools made from bone and stone. Beadwork. Medicine pouches. Maya found a small box containing torn pages. August 28th, 1863. I've hidden everything here. Running Bear's people can reclaim it when ready. May my blood daughters honor this covenant. May they understand some things are priceless. Helen's hands shook. These need to be returned. Federal law protects indigenous artifacts. I know. That's what Elena wanted. Then contact the tribe before Monday's hearing. For hours to the Eastern Shoshone Tribal Center. Joseph Stormcloud's office held ceremonial photographs and historical maps. Morrison, Patricia's niece. We've been waiting 8 years. Claire showed photographs, read Elena's words. Joseph called 3 elders. They examined photos with trembling hands, speaking in Shoshone. One elder looked up, tears streaming. These belong to my great-great-grandfather. The location was lost 6 generations ago. This is sacred homecoming. Joseph turned to Claire. Elena protected what was ours. Patricia continued. Now you complete it. He paused. Elena's mother was Eastern Shoshone, White River Band. You're not just returning artifacts. Your family is returning what was taken. My cousins are contesting the will. Emergency hearing Monday. They want the property. Joseph's expression hardened. Then we intervene. Federal heritage law protects this. If they want to fight, they'll face us in federal oversight. The elder spoke, looking at Claire and Maya. Joseph translated. He says you have the mountain people's eyes. This is completion of a circle begun 161 years ago. Joseph produced a document. Agreement Patricia negotiated. Sacred chamber to tribal control. Mineral rights remain yours. 15% of mining proceeds to our Cultural Preservation Fund. Patricia insisted the gold was yours. The sacred objects were ours. We'll file intervention papers today. The judge will have to consider tribal sovereignty. Thank you. We believe in keeping promises, even when it takes 6 generations. Monday morning. Judge Sarah Chun presiding. Blake and Vanessa with their attorney. Claire with Thomas Garcia, Joseph Stormcloud, and 3 elders. The hearing was swift. Patricia's video testament played, clear-eyed and certain. Medical records showed perfect cognitive function. Joseph testified about federal protections. Judge Chen's voice was steel. Will contest denied. The property remains with Claire Morrison. Dismissed with prejudice. Outside, Vanessa stopped. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there. Blake looked broken. She knew exactly what we were. That hurts more than losing. It's not too late to change, Claire said softly. 6 months later, at the dedication ceremony, Claire stood with Maya as sage smoke rose into mountain air. The plaque read, Sacred Heritage Site, Elena Ravenwood, 1840 to 1919, who kept her word. Patricia Monroe, 1932 to 2024, who protected what wasn't hers. Claire Morrison, who chose honor over wealth. Maya squeezed her hand. We're the family that keeps promises. The mountain stood witness, and somewhere in the wind of pines, Claire imagined Elena's voice whispering that some truths transcend time. Your word is your wealth, and everything else is just metal in the ground. Thank you for staying with Claire and Maya through this journey. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. May you have the courage to keep your promises, even when they cost everything, especially then.